Hey, 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 socialists, masters of deception. Welcome to Real Talk with Moccio. I'm your host, Gordon A. Moccio, the G-Man, they call me. Before we continue, the views, opinions, and statements expressed on Real Talk with Moccio are those of the host and guests of the podcast and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or official positions of Gordon Vincent Associates, LLC, DBA Moccio Media, or any of its subsidiaries, affiliates, or employees. And folks, as I do each and every time we get together, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to spend some valuable time with you. I truly appreciate you tuning in, and thank you. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast on Facebook and YouTube. And folks, today we are going to talk about the flavor of the day from the majority of New Yorkers who voted in the last election. Let me correct myself. The majority of New York City residents who voted in the last election. And the flavor of the day, the magic word is socialism. Folks, socialists are masters of deception, period. You never hear, we're going to reduce opportunity. They never say, we're going to place more burdens on the taxpayer. They never say, you're going to pay the bill for those here illegally. They never say, we're going to centralize control. No. Instead, they say, we need a level playing field. We need social justice, compassion. The Socialism playbook, folks, has a 3-step formula. And today I'm going to walk you through it, so please bear with me. Step 1. Always the same first step. Tax the rich. It always starts here. And I want people to understand this. Now, and this is the hard truth. And if I offend anyone, I certainly apologize, but this is the hard truth that everyone must come to accept. You may not be wealthy or highly successful in business, or in life for that matter, because of the choices you made in life. And that's not an insult. That's reality. And it's not the government's job to fix that reality. Folks, what's wrong with wealth and free enterprise? Life presents us with choices. Some people go to college. Some people go to trade school. Some people leave school, drop out of high school. Some enter the military. Some become blue-collar workers. Some start businesses. And based upon those choices, most of us end up exactly where our effort, discipline, and decisions have placed us. It's not the government's role to manufacture success for you, to redistribute achievement or artificially elevate someone's wealth or social standing. That's up to you. Opportunity should be equal for all, but outcomes will never be. And that's called freedom. So, that said, back to step 1 of the Socialism playbook. Tax the wealthy and the big rich and the big business. It's a winning pitch, folks. And since most voters don't educate themselves on history, voters take the bait hook, line, and sinker. But here's the reality. The wealthy are mobile. Businesses are mobile. Capital is mobile. So, let me talk about something socialists don't like to admit. Technology has changed everything, folks. With today's technology, Many businesses do not need brick and mortar locations. No storefront, no office tower, no warehouse on Main Street. Business operates online. People work remotely. Businesses sell globally. And all it takes now is a laptop, an internet connection, and a good idea. One person, as you know, can reach customers anywhere in the world. From their kitchen table, from a spare bedroom, from a coffee shop, from a home office like the one you see here. That means wealth is more mobile than ever. Business is more mobile than ever. And capitalism, or capital, is harder than ever for government to control. And that freaks the socialists out. If they can't control something, they're beside themselves. When companies aren't tied to physical locations, of course they can relocate instantly. That's reality. And that exposes one of socialism's biggest weaknesses. Socialism depends on keeping people, money, and businesses trapped inside rigid control systems and layers of bureaucracy. But in this digital economy, opportunity moves faster than government. Innovation moves faster than regulation. And bureaucracy can't keep up. And that freaks them out. So, when you overtax them, they leave. We've seen it in New York. We've seen it in California. We've seen it in Illinois. High earners, big businesses, they relocate. Corporations relocate. Then what happens? Investment dries up, jobs disappear, and suddenly your tax base shrinks. But government spending, the big locomotive, remains at full throttle and out of control. Which brings us to step 2. Shift the burden to the middle class. Ah, that's it, right in the laps of the middle class. Once the rich move out, once big business pulls back, who's left? The middle class. The people who have always carried this great nation with their blood, sweat, and tears. You want another cross to bear? I think not. Teachers, police officers, nurses, small business owners, tradesmen, working families. Now the message changes. Now the socialists will tell you, the middle class must do their part. It's your responsibility. It's for the greater good. Ooh. The translation? Congratulations, you're now subsidizing expand government programs and subsidies. Your taxes go up, your fees go up, your property taxes rise, energy costs rise, insurance rises, and you get the picture. Now, on to the third and final step. Put the final nail in the coffin. Kill opportunity. Folks, socialism cannot coexist with capitalism. Socialism punishes success. Profits are regulated. Innovation is restricted. When you eliminate incentive, why take risks? Why build a business? Why work overtime? Why innovate? The only option is to walk in lockstep with dependency. With ambition discouraged, opportunity disappears. Higher education becomes unaffordable. Mediocrity is equally distributed to the masses, with a small ruling class on top, raking in the dineros. Under socialism, this happens every single time. History proves it. Let's talk about history. Now, if you are a baby boomer, you definitely learned about this In today's scholastic environment, I'm not too sure. Venezuela and Cuba were once thriving tourist hotspots. The economies were booming. This is until Fidel Castro and Hugo Chavez rode in on their Trojan horses. Under Fidel Castro, Cuba was promised equality. The result? Ration cards. No private enterprise. No upward mobility. Government decides, government distributes, government controls. Under Chavez, Venezuela under Chavez, 1999 through 2003 or thereabouts, lost about 14% of its economy in 5 years. Now let's look at those nations today. People are on the same level. Yeah, they're all poor, while the leaders are raking in the cash and living lavishly. The Soviet Union. The Soviet Union promised workers a paradise. Central planning, state control, we're going to take care of you. Elimination of private capital. And their economy came tumbling down because you cannot deny human ambition, you cannot legislate innovation, and you cannot confiscate your way to prosperity, folks. So let me bring this home to New York City. New York's already struggling with high taxes, out-migration, budget strain. The socialist proposal? Let's raise taxes further, expand social programs, increase dependency further. Now, history certainly tells us how it ends. First, the wealthy leave, then the middle class pays, then opportunity shrinks, and government grows. That's not theory, folks. That's been proven time and time again. This is a pattern. Folks, why go to college when there's no incentive to succeed? Have the university professors thought that over? Professors who favor socialism may eventually be out of work. Everyone is equal. No one is richer, no one is poorer, except the leadership who is atop the economic pyramid. Soon, the seeds of corruption will definitely take root. We've seen this playbook before, as evidenced by Venezuela and Cuba. Now, for those who say it wasn't real socialism, socialism wasn't done correctly. Well, let's deal with one of the most common excuses for failed socialist nations. Whenever socialism fails, proponents of socialism rest on, well, that wasn't real socialism, it wasn't done right. It hasn't been tried correctly yet. Let me translate that for you folks. What they're really saying is, trust us again, give us more power, give us more money. This time, it will be different. Folks, that's BS. Here's the truth. Socialism has been tried over and over on every continent, in every culture, under every excuse imaginable, and it keeps failing. Now, stay with me, folks, and allow me to provide some facts. Now, as I said before, if you are a baby boomer, you were certainly taught this in school. Today, who knows? Let's start with the blueprint socialism comes from. Karl Marx. He laid out the theory of state control, abolish private capital, redistribute wealth, central planning. That's the design. So when people say, that wasn't real socialism, they're ignoring the original instruction manual. Now, let's look at reality. As I stated before, Cuba, under Fidel Castro, Cuba followed the model. Fidel Castro nationalized everything, eliminated private enterprise, created a one-party rule, and the result? Rationing, poverty, no opportunity. 60-plus years later, They're still dependent, still struggling, and still on their butts. Venezuela, Hugo Chavez. He tried what was termed modern socialism. He said, this isn't old school socialism. This is compassionate socialism. This is 21st century socialism. Yippee! Same policies, same control, same redistribution, same result. Collapse, shortages, mass migration, economic disaster. So let me ask you something. If it fails in Cuba, if it failed in Venezuela, the Soviet Union, failed in Eastern Europe, failed in Africa, failed in Asia, at what point do we stop calling it bad execution? I mean, what point? And start calling it bad design. It's not bad execution, folks. It's bad design. Here's an analogy. Now, if you buy 10 cars from 10 different dealers and every one of them explodes, is it driver error? Is it something the dealer did, or are they defective? Exactly, folks. Socialism doesn't fail by accident. It fails every time by design because it's built on 3 false assumptions. Government knows better than the markets. It doesn't. People will work just as hard without incentives. They won't. We all have been taught in a free system, effort is connected to outcome. Work harder, earn more, take risks, grow, build something valuable, you profit. Under socialism, the message changes. Succeed, you're punished. Work harder, you're taxed more. Build something, it may be capped or confiscated. So, people adjust. They do just enough. They stop taking risks. And power ultimately attracts corruption every time. Now, here's the real reason they say socialism wasn't done right. Because admitting socialism doesn't work means admitting their ideology is wrong. And that's hard for these people to swallow. So instead, they blame sanctions, they blame capitalism, they blame greed, they blame foreign countries, they blame the weather, they blame history, anyone but the system. But notice something, folks. Capitalism doesn't need excuses. It works in America, it works in Europe, it works in Asia. It works wherever people are free to compete. No central planner required, no 5-year plans, no ration cards, no permission slips. So when someone tells you socialism just hasn't been done right yet, here's your answer. It's been tried many times by many leaders with many promises, and it failed each and every time. Challenge them to give you just one instance where socialism was successful. Folks, socialism fails each and every time, not because of mistakes, because of design. Folks, capitalism isn't perfect, but it has lifted billions out of poverty. It rewards effort, it fuels innovation, it creates mobility. Folks, think about what I said and take it to heart. Thanks for listening, and this episode has been brought to you by Denise Moccio, your local Coldwell Banker realtor, serving Putnam, Dutchess, and Westchester counties. Contact Denise today for a free market analysis of your home or property at denise.moccio@comcast.net. That's denise.moccio@comcast.net. Or you can contact Denise at 845-667-4884, 845-667-4884. Thanks for listening, folks. Until we meet again, may the blessings of heaven rest upon you and yours. That's all for this week, folks. I'll see you next time.